Previously, Elon Musk appointed Linda Yaccarino to run Twitter, while Starship exceeded all expectations on its first launch attempt. And now for some big news. But before we go there, let's take a trip down history lane.
So we're going to have these at highway rest stops all around the country and around the world.
Half a decade later.
This gives you just a sense for how many superchargers there are in the world. It's worth noting this is actually the only high-speed charging network in the world. There isn't even a second one.
But is Tesla open to letting other auto manufacturers use their supercharging network?
At Tesla, we're really open to other manufacturers wanting to use the supercharged network. So I've seen some articles like, is it Tesla's intention to create sort of a walled garden or something like that? And that is not at all the case. This is not some nefarious marketing ploy. It is simply that we need to have high-speed charging in order to have convenient long-distance travel. And if we were to wait around for everyone to agree on the right approach, it would never happen. So we have to just go out there and do it, and then other manufacturers can join us, or they could copy us, or they could think of something better.
And in May of 2023, we get some major news.
Starting early next year, Ford owners will be granted access to thousands of Tesla superchargers across the United States and Canada. It's part of a new partnership announced on Twitter Spaces by Tesla CEO Elon Musk and Ford CEO Jim Farley.
John, take a look at shares of General Motors 2 weeks after its competitor Ford said it would strike a deal with Tesla to use the NACS Tesla charging standard. GM is now saying that it will do the same thing. So starting in 2025, it will be incorporating the Tesla NACS charging standard into its EVs so that GM EVs will then be able to charge at Tesla supercharger sites. Yet another automaker saying, you know what? Let's just go with Tesla. It's a better way to go than to have a separate charging standard. If you talk with those who have studied the public chargers in this country, the ones that are not Tesla, they get terrible reviews. And about 20% of the time, they do not work. Either the credit card doesn't work, or it's slow, or it just plain doesn't work. So GM is saying, you know what, let's give the people who buy our EVs more access, and they'll have access to about half of the Tesla superchargers.
Tesla's stock price reacted positively to the news.
On a tech rally, some of these names year to date have been absolutely flying, including Tesla. Shares edging higher for a 12th consecutive day, marking the longest winning streak on record. KGI upgrading the stock to outperform, saying this: Tesla's automotive investments in the US are paying off. Its AI prowess is underrated. We're up by another 1.75, up another 1.8% this morning, Katie.
And if that holds, of course, that will be that 12th day of gains, which is a record winning streak for this stock. And there's a few different things that got us here, fundamental reasons too. Most notably, in the past few weeks, you've had the likes of Ford and GM saying that they're going to adapt their EVs to hook into Tesla's superchargers. Piper Sandler thinks that's worth a $3 billion boost by 2030 or so. And not to mention, you also have Tesla's Model 3 sedans became eligible for the full U.S. tax credit. So again, a few different fundamental reasons to go along with what's been a blistering rally. If you look at today, again, we're up almost 2%. This rally, if you look over the past winning streak that we're sitting on, it's added about $200 billion to Tesla's market cap. This company is now up over 100% so far in 2023 to go along with that record. So it's been a pretty good summer so far for Elon Musk.
Amazing, and the wins keep coming.
The good news didn't end there, as more dominoes started to fall.
In the meantime, EV maker Rivian shares are trading slightly higher this morning, up about 2%, after an announcement they have agreed to adopt Tesla's charging standard. Ford and General Motors struck similar deals in recent weeks, securing access to Tesla's expansive North American charging network.
Yeah, Oliver, I feel like this is just the latest of the companies that are now joining their North American charging standard. Of course, that is Polestar. This will go into effect 2025, similar to the other companies we've heard from, those being Ford, GM, and Rivian.
Well, Tesla inching closer to having an industry-wide universal plug after Mercedes announces it will be the first German car maker to implement Tesla's charging plug.
Yeah, add another partner or scalp to Tesla's list of new companies joining their supercharger network. Now with Mercedes in 2024, Germany's first original equipment manufacturer to do this, and we might hear from Hyundai and also Volkswagen. They're also rumored to be speaking to Tesla too.
We have seen a long list of companies adopting Tesla's charging standard. Who's the latest now?
Kiko, it's Fisker. They're joining the party, the Tesla Supercharger party.
Toyota agrees to get on with the same page with some other automakers for a charging standard made by a popular EV company. Toyota says it'll adopt Tesla's North American charging standard system starting in 2025.
A big partnership with Hilton. They're going to be bringing those Tesla Superchargers to Hilton. Over 20,000 chargers are going to be at different Hilton brands, and they're going to connect over 2,000 chargers, and you can install 20,000 chargers total.
There's a new push to bring more charging stations for electric car owners. Oil and gas company BP is buying $100 million worth of EV superchargers for Tesla. The superchargers will not look like other Tesla chargers, as they will be branded with a BP Pulse logo. Installation for the chargers will begin next year at BP-owned locations and some third-party location like Hertz Car Rentals.
So while Tesla became king of the charging network, let's again go back down history lane, this time relating to battery materials.
Elon Musk looking to dip his toes in yet another business, suggesting on Twitter that Tesla could take lithium mining into its own hands, Musk citing the slow pace of mining as a reason for sky-high prices.
Developing news, Tesla might build a lithium refining facility right here in Nueces County. This comes from a public application for tax breaks filed with the Texas Comptroller's Office. Tesla is pitching the plant as the first of its kind in North America, and that the facility will process raw material into a state suitable for battery production.
And in May, Tesla held their groundbreaking ceremony for their lithium refinery.
It's glad to have you all here. We're incredibly excited to announce the biggest lithium refinery, one of the biggest lithium refineries in the world, and a location that will be able to, we expect, produce lithium for about 1 million vehicles and produce more battery-grade lithium than the rest of North American refining capacity combined. And as you can see, we've got the earth-moving equipment already here, so we're going to begin construction immediately. We're aiming to finish construction next year and then reach hopefully full production about a year later. This is extremely fast by normal standards. But that's how we do things. So, what should we do next? Oh yes.
Cool. Yeah. Shovelers want. I think we should break some ground.
Break some ground.
In other news, Elon might have just gotten himself into a new battle.
So, two of the most rich, powerful men in the world might actually fight, but at the moment they're still grappling with the details.
This morning, two of the world's richest, most powerful men might actually fight each other. Elon Musk and Mark Zuckerberg fueling speculation that the two tech giants could square off in a cage fight. Musk posting on X, the platform formerly known as Twitter, "The fight will be managed by my and Zuck's foundations, not UFC. Livestream will be on this platform and Meta. Everything in camera frame will be ancient Rome, so nothing modern at all."
Yeah, that was great. Okay.
This whole thing started earlier this summer when Musk challenged Zuckerberg to a cage match after Zuckerberg's Meta launched Threads, a direct competitor to Musk's platform.
So who would be the favorite?
My pick, Musk. And I'll tell you why. Yes, 5'7" versus 6'1", all the height and weight difference. But it's an attitude when you're in the octagon. When you look at guys like Frank Mir, Dana White, when you look at all these guys, Tyrus, when they get in that octagon, when they get into that ring as boxers or as fighters, it's all about the attitude. Right. You go in ready to do it. And I don't think Zuckerberg, who's more of a soy boy, can keep up with Musk, who's an alpha.
If I watched a 160-pound guy crush 250-pound guys, if you know jiu-jitsu, If Zuckerberg's really training and Elon Musk prides himself on not training at all, he'll last 45 seconds.
Yeah, but Elon has a move that he calls the walrus, and so he just lies on top of his opponent and does nothing because he is larger in stature.
You know what? I changed my vote then. Yeah. That sounds like, how do you beat that? How do you beat that, Lisa?
I want to make my argument for Elon. So he's taller, he's smarter, his IQ's higher, and he's 51.
By 2 points.
No, he's 51, so he's got some wisdom, but he's still able to move around and be a little bit scrappy. Also, he had some hardship growing up, right? So he's tough. He's had to go through some stuff. I don't know.
What, divorce?
This is never going to
No, when he was young.
Street fighter.
He had bullies that beat him up. His
bullied.
dad was not nice. He went through a lot of stuff. So he's gone through hardship.
It's a lot of losing.
So he's a scrappy. So I think Elon Musk, with the size, the age, the height, the scrappiness, I think it's over for Mark.
Next, 5 years after its initial release, Tesla refreshed the Model 3 and upgraded the production lines in China, which did cause some downtime. Soon after, Tesla reported Q3 deliveries, which were down slightly from the previous quarter due to the previously mentioned production lines being upgraded. Tesla also reported Q3 earnings with $1.85 billion in profit, and due to Tesla's multiple price reductions, gross automotive margins came in at 16.3% excluding credits. But one of the biggest talking points was that there was an impression that Tesla was slowing down their plans for Giga Mexico.
You said in the commentary that you're not going full tilt on the plant in Mexico until there's signs that the economy is strong. And any color on what you mean sort of not going full tilt? Could that plant get delayed indefinitely? Or what are we kind of talking about?
No, we're definitely making the factory in Mexico. We feel very good about that. And we are going to build a factory there. It's going to be great. The question is really just one of timing. And there's going to be a broken record on the interest front. It's just the interest rates have to come down. If interest rates keep rising, you just fundamentally reduce affordability. It is just the same as increasing the price of the car. So I just don't have visibility into. If you can tell me what the interest rates are, I can tell you when we should build the factory. We're going to build it. We'll start the initial phases of construction next year.
I guess it would be a disaster if Tesla delayed Giga Mexico by a quarter or two, right?
I mean, if you looked up disaster in the dictionary, there'd be a video of last night's conference call. And I think the problem is that the street wanted to get details. Have the price cuts ended? Where does the gross margin outlook look? What does demand ultimately look into 2024? And instead, it was really Musk put on his macroeconomist sort of hat. And that's not what the street wanted. I think it was lack of details. And ultimately, it was a somber note for, especially when it looks at Cybertruck and you look at the margin outlook. And I think the long-term thesis is still there. But with no rose-colored glasses, I mean, this was definitely what I'd call a disaster.
But one aspect of Tesla's business that has been completely flying under the radar has been Tesla Energy.
Is that the energy business, which has always been very small, is now the highest margin business. It's 24% margins. The auto business is 16%. That thing tripled in the third quarter versus the third quarter a year ago, and people aren't putting any value whatsoever on that.
So while the media focus on short-term drama, sometimes it's worth zooming out and seeing the real progress Tesla is making.
So what we want to show you tonight is essentially the answer to the problems that are holding back electric vehicles, or at least that people think are holding back electric vehicles. One is this question of being able to drive long distances conveniently. And with a gasoline car, you can drive, in theory, anywhere you want with high convenience. Well, how do you do that with an electric car? And that's what the supercharger is going to enable. So we're going to have these at highway rest stops all around the country and around the world. So I think this day will actually go down as being quite historic. I think at least on par with SpaceX docking with the space station earlier this year. I mean, I really think this is important. And really, I want you to go out there and and spread the word, because people have this idea that if you have an electric car, you can't. There's no freedom. You're stuck. They have this idea that you can't go anywhere. And what we're showing here today is that, in fact, you have more freedom than with anything. You'll be able to go anywhere and you can feel really good about your travel because you're going on sunlight.
Yet another automaker saying, you know what? Let's just go with Tesla. It's a better way to go than to have a separate charging standard. If you talk with those who have studied the public chargers in this country, the ones that are not Tesla, they get terrible reviews. And about 20% of the time, they do not work. Either the credit card doesn't work, or it's slow, or it just plain doesn't work. So GM is saying, you know what, let's give the people who buy our EVs more access, and they'll have access to about half of the Tesla superchargers.
Superchargers, we're making good progress. So our supercharger uptime is now 99.95%.
You are choosing to go with Tesla, which has been riding with the NACS standard. Why Tesla? Why this standard?
We really like the Tesla standard from a customer standpoint. When you look at how easy it is to plug in, if you drop the core, the Tesla system is more robust. We also like their locations. We like their charging technology. It works really well as well. So in 25, we're going to put their plug on our vehicle.
Anyway, we're just going to keep growing it as fast as we can to make sure people can go wherever they want, whenever they want, with convenience. Keep upgrading the capability of the supercharger system so it can charge things faster. We're going to start adding amenities to the supercharger stations. So the really big stations, we'll start adding amenities and just make it so that when you do a long-distance trip in a Tesla, you love the experience. That's the overarching goal.
In the next episode, the 4-year wait is over, with Cybertruck deliveries beginning. Finally, a big thank you to all Patreon members and Ice Lake Investments for making this documentary series possible. And remember, all content is for educational and entertainment purposes and not financial advice. So till next time, I'll catch you guys soon.